Welcome to Coverage Today, the show we used to play 30k, and we will very soon be playing 30k again because 8th edition is hot garbage.
Yes. So great.
Not to editorialize too much or poison the well, but yeah, I had to say it. So with me is Jason.
Hello.
With his Tau yet again. There's a running theme here. Tau is a big part of 8th for us. So
Pardon me? Huh?
Big part of Jason as well. So I got my Imperium faction because that's in no way cynical and won't ruin the game.
Yeah.
So I've got
two
detachments, and much to Jason's dismay and thanks. I showed him my list. He realized it was illegal, but the joke was all we had to do was swap out a patrol detachment for a flight wing, and I ended up getting an extra command point out of it and took one less HQ because this game is awful.
That's right. So I netted you some extra command points there for some weird changes.
I'm a big cheater because I have 2 detachments and Jay only has 1.
Yeah, well.
But with 2,000 points, I have 1 more CP because I'm just amazing. And, with the new FAQ, the new terrain rules, they're even stupider. Thanks, GW. So they did fix the whole ruin thing because they added the word holy. Originally, holy was not in the rules, so that meant that, like, one infantry guy being in a ruin could conga line out and all the guys are in cover.
Yeah.
So that fixed it. That was good. Now it works very much like the trees. But even stupider now, there's no more just general obscurement as a concept. So I could have a tank.
This is
let me show you here.
I have a big issue with this.
So, dear viewer, here's a tank. Now in 40k 8th edition, our arcs don't matter even though they introduced Splitfire because that's in no way cognitive dissonance between Jervis and Kretis. So I'll put this beautiful tank down here. And now normally you'd think, well, 50% obscurement, if I'm shooting from there, hey, bada bling.
Clearly some sort of defensive ability.
Sure, I mean, +1's not a ton. So I have a 2+ save, which will still be a 5.
Surely the game will acknowledge that you have taken a defensive position.
But now, that's not enough, friends. So even if you're fucking 99% obscured, well, no. You also have to be in area terrain, which is basically a ruin. So let's say this ruin. Okay, cool. I'm now in the ruin 100%. So if I'm 50% or more obscured, I get +1 to my cover.
Cool.
But think about this. You could be 51% obscured, get a cover save because you're just in an arbitrary line or square.
Right.
You could be 99% obscured by the same piece of terrain, just not in it. And again, we're talking large models here, not tiny models. And you don't get a save. So it's kind of stupid.
I can't wrap my mind around that. It's really...
The general thing is we like to set up boards and take our time. And, like, terrain doesn't matter anymore. It's just all or nothing. You see or you don't, you're in range or you're not.
Yeah, terrain's kind of...
pointless. You can't even hide from artillery. So
in general, really.
We're not living 8th, but we're going to slog through one more battle report. And we'll be back with armies and stuff. I just wanted to explain the terrain shit because we used to do that sometimes when it mattered. Yeah. And, well, now it doesn't. So
yeah.
Maybe we'll be playing 7th.
Yeah, I guess we'll see you with the armies.
And stuff.
Now, Empire, 2,000 points. Battalion detachment.
Question mark?
Question mark, yeah. So, my warlord is going to be Long Strike. And it's going to be I forget what it's called. It's the 6+ feel no pain. Oh, 6, not feel no pain. On a 6, you can ignore a save. Because it doesn't have a name. Or it does have a name. And then to the left is Shadow Sun. Just my secondary HQ for my requirements. And because Shadow Sun is cool. And next to her / him, I don't know, questionable. My army's progressive. And then... there's 2 super shield drones. I know they're modeled as regular shield drones, but I am not using regular shield drones anymore. So these are my super shield drones with the command drone, which allows you to reroll 1s for a unit within 3 or 6. So I'll have to look that up. And so that's it for them. Behind that model is 4 squads of fire warriors. 1 squad of 5 with the smart missile turret. And then we have 2 identical squads of 10 with a marker light on the chassis with a pulse pistol and a smart missile turret, as well as 2 gun drones for tactical drone support, whatever they call it, for each squad. And then the 4th squad over here is 10 carbines without the marker light and 2 drones as well. Right here in the corner, we have 6 Pathfinders. So the chassis, I think, just 6 Pathfinders. Nice and simple. Boom. Over here, we have 2 identical squads of stealth suits. They each have 2 fusion blasters, and the fusion blasters have multi-trackers, so they get to reroll 1s. And the burst cannons have advanced targeting systems, so they are awesome and cool, and everyone likes them. And then they also have 2 drones each because they're like fidget spinners. and so everybody has one. And then in the back, we have 2 broadsides. They're individual, but they are identical. They have all the missiles. They have, well, except seeker missiles. They have smart missiles and the high yield missiles each, and advanced targeting systems. And behind them, for their each drone tactical support, whatever, they have 2 missile drones, because drones are cool and missiles are cool. And then to the left of them, we have 10 Vespid with a string leader, because Vespid are also cool. And that is my 2,000 points of Tau Empire.
2,000 point, 8th edition, last time I'll probably ever play it list. So it is comprised of 2 detachments. Now you'll notice there are some Deathwatch and some Ultramarines, obviously, combined here, but their keyword is Imperium most of the time, or something or nothing. So up front here we have my HQ, which is a Deathwatch chaplain who is identical to a regular chaplain except for his Deathwatchness. He is armed with a combi flamer. Next to him is my other HQ, who is of course an Ultramarine, obviously. That is Commander Cronus, who is inside a Stalker. I just put the model there because if he dies I have to put the model down. We have my 2 objective markers, which are not put on our list. Behind them we have 6 scouts. I got the sergeant and 5 of them with their sniper rifles, and I got a missile launcher just because I had the model and the points. Cynicism. Anyway, behind them we got 2 identical 5-man combat squads of tactical marines, and the sergeant has a power axe in each one. I know that looks a lot like a power mace, but fuck you. Behind them are 2 identical Razorbacks, each with the 2 the las cannon, 2 plasma, and of course the storm bolter for good measure for 2 points. Behind them is a Storm Talon, armed as you can see with 2 assault cannons and the Storm Strike missiles. Next to him is a Storm Raven with las cannons, multi-meltas, and the awesome missiles in the wings. I didn't have time to make any Hurricane bolters, but I should have. So it doesn't have those. Up in front of it is a Venerable Dreadnought with the twin auto cannon and the close combat weapon with the heavy flamer. He's actually a Venerable, because why not? 20 points difference. And next to them, is my kill team for Deathwatch there, comprised of a sergeant with a combi flamer and power axe, a guy with a plasma gun, 2 guys with heavy bolters, a guy with a heavy flamer, and then 2 guys with power axes as well. Cynicism. In front of them, we got a 5-man assault squad with 2 flamers, and the sergeant has a power axe. I'm sensing a theme, and I think that's pretty much everything, with the exception of the Corvus Blackstar back there in the back, which will be carrying the Deathwatch guys in the battle. It's got a las cannon and the good Storm Strike missile things and Hurricane Bolter for reasons. So that's 2,000 points. My Warlord again is this homie, and he has the 6+ feel no pain like thing, bespokeness. Yeah, 2,000 points.
So here we are, rolling off to see who gets to place the first objective, or has to place the first objective.
It's forced to.
I rolled a 5.
I rolled a 2.
I will burn. Oh, you know what? No, you rolled a 2. I'd have to roll
a 1
equal to or
lower. Yeah, because you have to re-roll.
You know,
okay, so Jay is not burning command point, and I'll be placing the second objective, which puts all the cards in my hand because 8th is stupid. So Jay, why don't you place the first objective?
I will. I will place this Tau Command Center.
Excellent. Let me show us that.
It's it's cool. That's a thing. I think I'm gonna put it in here actually.
In the ruin.
In the ruin.
Okay.
So we'll put it right.
Very good. There's a dice for you. I'll take this dice. So now I will place an objective. I will place a hurt Deathwatch dude.
Oh yeah, we have questions for him.
Now, I mean, I could put this somewhere else, but I don't know the deployment. So why not just be super cynical and put it within 12 of Jay's objective? So
that's the center.
Okay, so I'm just gonna put it like right there. There we go.
Boom, perfect.
So that's 1 objective. That's 2 objective. Now, Jay, place another objective.
Seeing as it's going the cynical route, I think I will also be cynical.
Which dead games never go. Ever.
Because, it's actually in my interest as well. So
absolutely.
I'm going to place it here.
Which is a good way of telling the story. We're so guilty of it, eh? All right, now I'll place mine, and I of course have the moral high ground here in every way because I'm going second. So I could just put this one really far away, but I could also just not give a shit and put it close to the rest of them anyway, for fuck's sakes. So here, I'm gonna do a solid. I'm gonna put it here.
Ooh.
There we go. We're gonna patch up that horrible floor with a nice generator. All right, so that should be within 12 there if you want to check that.
Oh yeah, let's just for posterity.
Just for posterity. Okay. So they're all 12 away from each other. They're all 6 from an edge. And because I placed last objective, I, for some fucking reason, get to determine the deployment map.
That's right.
Because I went last for deploying objectives, I also get to determine the deployment type. This is really the only house rule we've played with from the get-go. We don't like having 6 kinds of deployment maps, so we just went with the 3 normal. So there's the 12-inch deployment, like short table edge deployment, and then corners. So 1-2 is the 12-inch deployment, 3-4 is short table edges, 5-6 is corners. Here we go! Corners. Okay. Yeah, seeing as I'll get to pick which corner I want, I'll just keep that and not waste the command point. We're playing with corners, everybody!
Tactics.
And I will take... does it really matter? Here, let me see. Okay, this is sort of our deployment map here. Okay, I'll just take this one, because why the fuck not? I guess.
Man is in that corner.
Yay! Tactics, strategy.
That gives me...
Things that used to matter in 7th edition don't matter anymore.
Yeah.
So we'll see you after we're done deploying, because to film all that would just be fucking depressing.
Okay, guys, so here we are with Tau Empire deployment. We'll start over here. So I've sort of set up a bunch of fire warriors in this sort of general area. There's a nice little fire base. I plugged these 2 broadsides with their drone support nearby, and you can see the drones of the squads have set up as well. There's one squad here, the smaller squad. Back here, it's kind of hard to see, because I kind of tried to not be seen as much as possible. There's Long Strike chilling back there. And there's a small unit of Pathfinders here, behind this barricade. And then lastly, we've got these 2 stealth teams plus Shadow Sun that have infiltrated. The rule's called infiltrator.
Bespoke.
So they
infiltrated.
They used infiltrator to get over there. I can't say infiltrated. Anyway, they went over there, and that's it for Tau deployment. Here's my 1 reserve. They are plunging from the sky. A group of Vespid.
Is that what the rule's called?
It's called plunging from the sky or plunging from above. Or
they don't get to ride the mantas with all
no,
the cool towels.
no, they just jump. They just jump out of the sky.
Caw-caw! Deathwatch, ultramarines, Imperium code word, bespoke force of goodness. Starting in the corner over here is my Storm Raven gunship. Contained within my Storm Raven gunship is a 5-man assault squad and a dreadnought, which is theoretically hanging back here. We just can't see it. In front of him is my warlord. It's one of my HQs. It's Cronus. He's inside the Stalker. Cool. Back behind the bridge here near that one objective, I've got my Storm Raven. Inside this Corvus Black Star, I've got a Chaplain and the 6-man kill team. Inside both of these Razorbacks, there's a 5-man team combat squad just chilling inside. And I infiltrated, or whatever the fuck they call it, up here with my scoots, so they get a pretty good field of fire there. And yeah, I don't have any reserves, so good time.
So here we go. I'm going to try and steal the initiative. We're going to do it live. We're doing it live. Okay. Da, 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 da. No, but...
Burn a command point?
I will burn command point. Let's reroll it, why not?
Dun, 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 dun.
It's all in the wrist. No.
No.
I mean, this is like 300% better, so...
Hooray. So
Tactics.
See you at the end of Space Marine turn 1.
Yeah, see you at the end of Space Marine turn 1.
This is the end of Ultramarine / Deathwatch Space Marines turn 1, Imperium faction 1. That's down to 1. Starting over here. So stuff was in the corner and things moved. My Cronus moved up here and engaged with the unit stealth suits, killing 2. But Jay made his battle shocks or whatever. Moving down, this Laserback didn't move and engaged with that same unit. I think I'll contribute to that, but whatever. This Razorback moved up and engaged down the line, splitting fire, just to complicate things, shooting his las cannon at this guy, killing a drone, and shooting its other weaponry at that unit, killing a couple guys who didn't run. All 3 of my planes, as you can see, advanced up. The Corvus flew over this unit and bombed them, dealing, I think, 1 mortal wounds. That was fun. The Corvus then split fire in the total common sense way without having fireworks at this unit, Long Strike, as well as this unit over here with his Hurricanes, and did various things. I believe Jay knocked off another wound onto a drone, so that was first blood. Moving on over here, the Talon engaged its missiles, I believe, at the broadside, didn't do anything.
I think you fired at this broadside.
Yes, that broadside didn't do anything. And then the assault cannons engaged that unit there, killing 3. But Jay passed his battle shock, I believe. And last but not least, the Storm Raven moved to where it is. It fired both las cannon and missiles over at the Lonely Broadside, but unfortunately didn't have very much luck. Jay also made a great save on a 5+. And the multi-melta, one hit on that guy, but unfortunately didn't get any wounds or whatever.
I think you missed again.
I missed again.
You didn't wound. That's what it was.
That was it. I rolled a 1.
Yeah.
Because I needed a 3.
He even burned a command point on it.
Strength, in this game is in a gully for some reason.
Yes.
Because that's an improvement.
So Ben is down to 5 command points.
Last but not least, this guy's split fire.
Oh, yes.
2 engage that unit, I don't think did anything.
You killed 1?
And these 4 helped over there somehow, I think.
You shot at him, did nothing.
Well, it helped
With the rocket.
I think they killed the other drone off. Before, because that shot before those was the...
No, I think it was all like 2 last cannons killed the drones.
Okay. Well,
The missiles.
they tried them.
They tried. They scared them.
So that was turn 1. We'll see you after Tau, turn 1.
Turn 1. We're going to start. Well, we'll start over here. Okay, so this unit of fire warriors moved out, planked down their turret, and as them, as well as all the fire warriors and pathfinders and broadsides here, fired at the core of this black star that was right here. And in fact, also Longstrike, who did 9 wounds with the railgun shot, so as good as I could. Still didn't one-shot it, but all the other piddly stuff ended up breaking it apart, and now these guys are here.
The kill team is there now.
Kill team's there. At the end of my move phase, I dropped these Vespid down. 8 of them fired here, doing nothing, and then 2 of them fired up here and
Finishing off a scout.
Finished off the scout. So that's it for over here. Over here in Stealth Town, Shadow Sun and gang jumped out, and Shadow Sun herself did 11 wounds to the Stalker. Yeah, I think it's what's called, the Stalker.
Just enough.
And the team behind attempted to fire the fusion blasters here, missing with both. The burst cannons attempted to fire at Cronus that was there, missing with 7 shots and then failing to wound. But this squad behind just framed them with a fusion blaster.
So there goes Cronus.
And that's all that took hours. Anyway, so
Ain't this faster, bro?
so that's the end of Tau.
Unit
Turn
said so.
1. We'll see you at the end of Ben. Marine conglomerate. Turn 2.
Iron Warriors, no. It's the end of Deathwatch and Ultramarines Coalition of Imperial keyword goodness 2. A lot has happened in this turn 2 because the game is stupid. So moving down over here, this guy stayed put, this Razorback, fired the preponderance of his weaponry and did a wound on one stealth suit. It's split fire with the las cannon, targeted that broadside, and I don't think it did anything. This Razorback over here moved up slightly just to get within range, double tap the unit up here, and I think I killed 2 of them. Up here, up here, killing 2 of them.
I forgot.
And that was then split fire with las cannon again, I think, and didn't do anything.
Yeah.
I actually burned a CP, I believe.
Yeah.
Still rolled a 2. Okay, back here. The planes aren't there. They moved further. As you can see, they're in the corner now. And they both moved there to engage with Longstrike. So both the Talon and the Raven fired essentially all their firepower at Longstrike, blowing him up, who then put a mortal wound, I believe, on my leader character. And
I believe he did
put a
3.
wound. Well, 3 wounds.
Yeah.
And I think put a wound on your broadside, possibly?
Yep.
Yes, that was it. Okay.
And some wounds on these
And
guys.
yeah, skull wounds on the planes as well. So he's dead. That's Warlord, I think, right?
Yep.
Okay, and then for combats, the Dreadnought got out and the Assault Marines got out, engaged with and eventually charged the broadside that was there and killed it in combat. And then the other unit, the kill team over here, is on with the character, charged the broadside you're seeing there and what's left of that unit. And I think I killed 3 in the unit, or 4?
3.
And I lost 2 guys to Overwatch, but didn't lose any in combat. I think I took an extra wound on something, maybe.
Nothing happened
Character,
over here.
no? Right,
But you did 3 wounds to me.
Yes, you're almost
2
down the
wounds.
broadside. There's
2
one
wounds
left. 2 wounds left on him.
1 wound left.
One left on him, but he'll just walk into combat, so the other guys, because they don't have enough models to surround you. So, did we miss anything? Is that it?
I think that's it.
One thing I didn't mention,
that's it.
One thing I didn't mention though, the flame guys, or sorry, the assault marines initially had flamed out a unit here before moving on to assault.
That's
so
right.
That unit ended up getting ganked. One guy left, he ran from battle shock. So yeah, that was pretty much my turn 2. We'll see you at the end of Tau turn 2.
Tau. Turn 3.
2.
2. 3 will be the next turn.
It feels like a lot of time.
It feels like it's been 100 turns.
Okay, turn 2.
Okay, so we're gonna start. Let's start over here. So Shadow Sun plus gang have moved up.
the guys in the back here fired with their fusion blasters at this vehicle and blew
Razorback,
and they did 8 wounds with 2 fusion blasters. And then the burst cannons from this group blew up took out the remaining wounds.
Wounded the vehicle that's made of armor.
Yeah, okay. And then the fusion blasters here fired at this vehicle, but they both missed. All the drones.
Sort of saying, not because of cover or anything, just because of rice.
Yeah.
That's all that matters.
Exactly. And then these drones back here, they also fired at the Razorback, and they missed. Shadow Sun fired with her pew guns and melted one guy's face. That was cool.
They didn't battle shock.
And they didn't battle shock. Cool. This unit of drones here fired at this dreadnought. Did nothing. This unit of drones also fired and then charged. Both things did nothing. But they and the Vespid also did 2 wounds, but they also charged. It's weird for me, I'm a Tau player, I'm not used to this. So they are holding him there, so
They surrounded him.
It surrounded him, so like...
Can't be combat.
Physically. Yeah, so that's cool.
Yeah.
Neat. Pathfinders, move back. They fired and killed, I believe, 2 of these guys.
Yeah, 2 assault marines.
These guys moved out of combat, couldn't shoot, stood there, slack-jawed, completely amazed. Broadside, same thing. He waddled out of combat and was completely amazed that he could do so unharmed. This unit of fire warriors back here fired at this unit, I believe killing 1 or 2.
Killed one. Who bolted guy?
Yeah, drones and smart missiles didn't do anything else. Can't see them, but there's 2 guys in there. They fired at this unit and they did nothing. I guess there's not much left. Wow, that's the end.
Give you an enthusiastic 8th edition, Jay.
8th edition! Yeah! Alright, so that's the end of Tau turn 2. Almost said 3 again. We'll see at the end of turn 3 for a bit.
Of Ultramarines Deathwatch, turn 3. And we are much closer to never having to play 8th again. So here we go. Starting on this end. I had a unit of 4 tacticals move here to try and mitigate the Overwatch, but support fire. So I attempted to charge this unit, and they were just support fire to oblivion. Moving down. This Razorback moved up a little bit. He had split fired with the last cannon there doing nothing, and then the rest, something I can't remember.
Probably a drone or something.
Yeah, I think he killed 2 drones. No, he killed 1 drone, the other ran.
Yeah.
Then these guys charged a unit of drones, killing them.
Yeah, he killed the remainder drone.
That 1 dreadnought couldn't shoot, charged the lone drone and killed him. These planes that were in hover mode, they were really forced to go in hover mode so they'd not crash. Shot a bunch of things, and then charged because this game is fucking awful.
Yeah, I don't even remember what they shot.
Oh, 8th is so bad. Okay, anyway, it doesn't matter. They're not gonna win combat, I'm not gonna win combat, I'll just leave, or they'll just leave. So yeah,
yeah, my planes
I lost my warlord to Jay in combat.
Oh yeah.
I charged the sergeant and a warlord. The sergeant died to Overwatch. The warlord gets in, fucks up his attacks, and Jay ganks him with a Shazwi. So there's some narrative forge there.
Yeah.
I think I finished off a broadside somewhere here.
Yeah. You shot it with melt-a-gun.
Yes. Yeah. That was
You framed it because the melt-a-gun's like I guess he like did like this like
something, and then the combat's the ones that didn't break. You're still able to see.
Yeah.
So that would be the end of Deathwatch. Ultramarines turn 3. We'll see you at the end of Tau turn 3, and we'll all be closer to the end in general.
Tau Empire turn 3. Let's start over here. So the strike team that was in combat with the plane.
I love how you have to say that on your breath.
Yeah.
I never have to say that again.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't... Well, I guess it was in hover mode. Anyway, whatever. So they advanced over here. So they didn't shoot. Drones, they advanced as well over here. These guys, they advanced over here. The guys in here finally remembered to plop down their turret.
Good.
Which, smart, missile fired over here, and wasn't so smart and didn't hit anything. But the Vestment killed 1, and he passed his battle shock. The pulse rifles from the squad fired here, did nothing. As we said, they fired there. Shadow Sun, fucking, again, single-handedly took out a Razorback. Like, she eats Razorbacks for breakfast, apparently.
Lunch and dinner.
Yeah.
We rolled well in her damage.
Oh, incredibly well. At like full range, not even getting the 2d6 pick the highest, I just rolled 10 wounds.
Yeah.
You know.
And then the unit inside got wiped by...
by all the burst cannons and other stuff there. Yeah. That's the end of Tau turn 3. We'll see you at the end of Space Marines turn 4.
8th edition.
Yeah.
Deathwatch, aka Ultramarines, turn 4. and we're inching ever closer to ever having to play it again. Starting over here. My planes, because fire arcs don't matter anymore, just kind of moved wherever because it didn't matter where I moved. And then engaged various things here, doing a couple dead guys there, and then like a dead guy there. So. There or something.
No, you just killed the 2.
And then moving down, I did try to charge here with my one. No, here.
Oh,
with my one guy.
Oh right, yeah.
Because he was out of LOS, but I didn't get the 10 inches I needed, and I burned a CP to try, and it didn't work. Over here, the Dreadnought killed the guys who were underneath the floor, then proceeded to charge 3 dudes who were there and killed them as well. Because, sure. And, yeah, that was my turn 4. We'll see you at the end of Tau turn 4.
Tau turn 4. We're gonna start, I guess we'll start right here. So the stealth suits, they kind of turned around to meet the 2 planes. The drones moved up here to try to get on this objective. These guys are kind of jockeying for position. This unit and Shadow Sun combined down to the Storm Talon. This unit here fired here but didn't do anything. Over here, these 2 Vespid finished off the last Jump Marine. The Fire Warrior Squad and the gun drones moved. The Fire Warriors advanced to get to the closer to the objective, and then these guys just moved and they fired here but couldn't hit it. And that's it for Tau, turn 4. So we see at the end of Space Marine Coalition, whatever he wants to call it, turn 5.
Turn 5 for the Deathwatch and ultramarines. I have 2 models left on the board, so the plane moved from there to here and had to go in hover mode. It then shot everything at the Fire Warriors and the unit here and did nothing to either from shooting, and then charged this unit because this game is awful. And then my Dreadnought moved to be within 3 of that objective and then fired this unit doing nothing because this game is awful.
The plane killed a Vespid in hand-to-hand, or whatever, and so it's laser cannons and stuff are worse off than just bumping into them.
Just getting 6s was easier.
I mean, it's a bug, so I guess it hit the windshield.
So pretty sure we know where this way is going. We'll see you at the end of Tau turn 5.
Turn 5 for Tau and the end of the game. So we're gonna start.
Thank God.
It's over. We're gonna start here. So these guys, I didn't on it. You know what? I didn't even. There was nothing. I could have moved these guys, but I didn't because it doesn't matter. We don't care. They have that objective. They fired. It did nothing. The Vespid moved here and contested this objective. Important.
If only I had punched him with my plan.
Shadow Sun moved up, took this objective, fired the fusion blasters with the help of the command link drone, and blew the plane out of the sky. Well, actually, all but 1 wound, and then I believe
and it didn't actually blow up. So.
Oh yeah, it didn't blow up. It just sort of disappeared.
As planes do.
Yeah. So between these 2 squads, they removed the plane from the playing field, and these guys, I don't know. I didn't even bother moving them again. They have this point, and they have line breaker. So that leaves me with 11 points for Warlord, Linebreaker, and 1, 2, 3 objectives.
So that objective.
2 points for First Blood and Warlord for Ben. So that's the end of the game, and we'll see you at the post-game show.
Welcome to the post-game show. As always, I'm Crabblesworth, and I'm joined with Anubis. You totally watched us play 2,000 points of 8th edition and somehow suffered through our less than 100% positive attitude on 8th edition.
Oh yeah.
And made it through the end. So with that, I will jump right into MVP Jason.
Shadow Sun.
Shocker.
Because everything she pointed her guns at died.
Yep.
She was just like 10 wounds, 11 wounds. 12
It almost felt like 7th edition, where one weapon could actually blow up a vehicle sometimes. Or
Longstrike rolled as well as he could have.
Yeah.
I wasn't good enough.
Did you just misgender Longstrike?
Yeah. Because mine's technically a girl, so... and my Shadow Sun's technically a guy. Just to fuck with everyone. So.
Epic fail.
I mean... Jesus. I almost want to say
Broadside.
Oh yeah. Which one though? Just general.
The one that died.
The one.
This one was okay. The one that died.
Yeah.
Like he kind
of didn't do anything.
He got, I guess, the scouts, but that's his bread.
Actually, I think it was Longstrike that did that.
Oh, that was his, right?
Yeah.
It was his smart missile,
Yeah.
right? Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, he didn't even.
Yeah, so we'll go with that broadside. Yeah.
My epic fail. guess the scouts. They
Mm,
didn't do anything.
yeah.
They killed them all.
They were no threat.
No.
Your missile launcher fired once. Didn't shit all. Or twice, I guess. Whatever. Yeah.
MVP.
Tread?
Oh, probably, yeah. Most consistent.
Yeah.
The most.
I mean, he's still alive.
Still alive.
No, nothing else is.
Very
so.
true. Very true. And he's got 7 wounds left
Yeah.
for reasons. So yeah. 2 minutes or less. Your thoughts on the game?
Just 2 minutes is not enough. Well,
On this particular.
on this particular game, bodies are very good. So my general thought was, I'm just going to put all my fire warriors down, all my painted stealth suits, like just a lot of models, a lot of good shooting. That seemed to work out.
Yeah.
Fusion blasters. If you are looking for tips on how to play Tau in this edition, just take fusion blasters. Take
4 of them.
Take like a commander with 4 fusion blasters, or take Shadow Sun. Put fusion blasters on stuff because they're very good.
Yeah.
It's very good. It's
But in this game, though, particularly.
in this particular game, I believe they helped me to that point.
Yes.
Is that having that stealth group that came back? That was kind of
Forgetting was unfortunate for the first 2 turns with that silly you have to do at the start of the turn.
Oh, like the command lane
I thought
throw.
they'd be getting rid of that stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, you didn't do this at the start of your
Not
turn.
that I really
Fuck
hated
you.
it, but
No,
yeah.
it's one of those gotchas.
Yeah. I was
you
oh.
either make your opponent feel like an asshole for not letting you do it out of phase, or you just keep forgetting until you remember. But even then,
Yeah.
it sucks you lost 2 turns of that.
And I find, and just in closing, I find that this game in particular really, I mean, I won, but it's still, the whole game is kind of a blur to me. I'm gonna have to watch this to really remember what happened, and everything felt forced. Every situation that we were both in, we brought this up during the game, is that it felt like everything is a nail and all your guys are hammers. There's one solution to every problem.
Yeah, instead of having 3 terrible decisions, it's like you have one obvious decision and no other decisions. So
And it's kind of hard to really, boil that down to one.
a good example of
thing.
that for both of us is
Okay.
just shooting. It's
Yeah.
why not charge afterwards?
Oh, yeah.
There's really no downside often
Or-
to do so.
What was really
Because
good?
you're going first, you're often just finishing off a unit, so it's even with Tau, who aren't particularly good, it was worth it to do that, I guess, for stopping the shooting in the grid.
Also, yeah, I agree with that.
Because you just left afterwards.
Yeah, I agree with that sentiment.
Plus, you know I can only kill 40 models, so it's
So everything just feels sort of like, you don't really feel creative or inventive or thinking on your feet. You're just sort of like, well, there's a Corvus Black Star.
nothing really matters.
So I'll shoot everything at it because it's going to shoot everything at me. Oh, it died. Okay, so they got I don't know. There's just no
Focus fire, kill something, repeat.
Yeah, no, and I'm pretty sure I lost the last thing that I was going to think about, but it's not really all that important. In closing, the game is weird. Ben, 2 minutes or less. Your thoughts on the game?
Well, okay. I don't know, I didn't think I played particularly well. I didn't have much planned, but I didn't need one because, again,
Neither is really had.
here's the tactical trade-off. I could go into hover mode with all my planes, not move, although that doesn't really matter with the Storm Raven anyway, because whether I move or not. So, but let's just say I could not come at you or go at you, but it doesn't really matter. I may as well just go at you because you can't prevent it at all.
Yeah.
And then turn 2, I just get out. And then, again, you can't do much other than Overwatch. And then it's stuff petered out. But I did more or less clear out this whole area.
Yes.
I obviously had no plan after that, so...
Yeah. Well, that was the thing. It was, I had that... it was this
Yeah.
that did it, because, I don't know.
But again, with the speed some units move, and,
was good.
the game always feels over by turn 2 regardless. Everything else is very, very kind of obvious from that point on.
Yeah.
And you're so incentivized with this turn 1 nonsense. It's they've turned everyone into space
I
marines
feel like a
with
lot of
drop pods.
I agree. Yeah, I feel like a lot of the game is you're watching. You know those cars that you drop, the Cub cars that the scouts would make, and it's like a big slope, and that's what all your units feel like. You're just sort of go. Oh
It's over so fast. Yeah. The winner is a millimeter further than the loser.
Yeah.
It's all decided by the tiniest margin.
Exactly.
Yeah. We're all in Cub Scouts now. No, it feels like Planet Strike, where it was like, we all knew that when you played something like Plan Strike, it was very, like, attack defendy, so it's very glass hammery, it's very, like, decided quickly. But why does every game feel like that now? I have not seen a game that hasn't been decided by turn 3. At all. So I don't know this random game length. I don't know what it does. If we had an extra 2 turns here, it would just be like, oh, you have 2 turns to kill the 1 model left on the board. This will be exciting, and no one knows what's going to happen.
Yeah, my stealth suits would probably just come over.
Yeah. And there's very little rolling. Like, even with the plane, we saw there's very little rolling. I mean, because you had a lot backing it up, obviously. But,
yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
The other things, my Raven is not very well kitted out for, like, the edition, mind you, because I've got, like, 6 shots that can do a lot of damage, but again, like, that's capped at 6 models that can die. Yeah. So that's not ideal, but again, like, all I could do, for example, you know, swap out, if I was going to play 8th, swap out the 2 last cannons for 2 assault cannons. Now I've, like, gone from 2 to 12.
Yeah.
So right off the bat, I've, like, saved points somehow, and gotten probably better for the most part. Yeah, I don't know, that's my thoughts on this game. It went... I felt like you already had the edge on the bodies, and that was smart, because we know I can't kill them all. I have to hope for, like, battle shock.
That was the hope.
Or whatever, and it worked out. You just used the LOS, is like the only thing about the terrain you managed to use, because you managed to hide from a few things, which was good about the small units again, because when it's 5 guys or 6 guys, it's not too bad.
The little drone units.
But even, like, I hated before, when I fly up here, and it doesn't matter at all where Shadowsun has concealed himself, because it's just sort of like, well, you're not in a ruin, so you get, like, no advantage. I fly over with planes.
That was my favorite part.
I can shoot you from my asshole.
My favorite part was like, even in the previous edition, I'd totally be like, nothing can see me except the planes that flew over here. It's perfectly reasonable.
But even then, like it's like even one gun's in range and like he can't get too close.
Even then, it's like this. It's like I'm in a bunker. You know, I'm totally like the tank destroyer, like in the wind. But it's like, you might as well be in the open.
Yeah, I think we can just segue to shit talk 8th edition if you want to.
Yeah,
we've been doing it all along anyway.
Let's fucking do it.
All right, so shit talk 8th edition. I wanted to wait a little bit until we fact 8th edition, but let's be honest, it's pointless to fact 8th edition. If we change it, we'll have to be playing politics with every new person we want to play with, and that cuts both ways. Whether we're bringing them into our group or going into theirs.
Yes.
And
it's very
like right off the bat, that's where all the what's the term we use? The balkanization happens. So right off the bat, everyone's playing a different game, and you see it with RTC too. It's like, oh, we're just gonna play that you can touch terrain and get cover. Like, okay, but you're just making shit up. That's probably in their FAQ at some point. So who knows? But it's just again, I was hoping ITC would fix stuff. They clearly didn't.
No.
But I don't think they can do anything. They change one thing and their community loses it. So Anyway, what our thought was like, why even patch 8th? It's bad. Why not just go back to 7th?
Well, there's too much here that we're not liking, and I think it's best in the sake of, I don't know, being mature about it. Just be like, we'll go back to what we liked. And other people can stay in 8th if they like it.
Yeah, because it's like, if we're doing our own thing with 8th anyway,
instead of fighting,
we may as well. We may as well.
We'll just
and the people watching will know we're playing either 30k or 7th.
Yeah.
Because we're going to be playing 30k as well, which is also a good game.
To that point, I believe that it's going to be in our best interest to continue playing 7th, because that's what 30k is ruled under.
Yeah.
And I was bringing up to Ben here that if we are playing 2 games, we might. It's hard to keep your mind in both games, because.
It's hard to play chess when you've been playing checkers for a very long time.
I mean, I didn't. It's hard for me to. Okay, I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. It's hard when you're in. Nothing really makes sense here.
Or matters.
Nothing, like, it's hard for me to be like, well, I could be behind this building, or in the street. Well, I want to be behind the building. No, that doesn't matter. So like, there's so much about being in this environment of 8th edition that is completely unintuitive and
it's so against which way they were going, because they introduced the granularity and all that shit, and then there's all these hard yes or no.
Yeah.
Are you in range? Yes or no. Are you in line of sight? Yes or no.
Still thresholds.
But it's still like, again, like the one model.
Yeah.
It's basically in range and line of sight now. What? Like,
or just so number of models to hold an objective. That sounds great on paper.
On paper.
But when you realize that, like, I could have 3 Fire Warriors and you could have 3 Leman Russes or let's say 2 Leman Russes, and I hold the objective. Let's say...
You're not doing a lot for mobility if numbers still went.
Yeah.
So I could
just flood it with conscripts or something.
Even with a 48-inch move, it's like...
Yeah.
You still have more numbers than me. No point. Then again, we don't see many endgame wins or losses.
Yeah, like imagine you had a let's say a Dark Element transport with 1 guy left, and it's in the tank, and there's like a Lehman Russ sitting on an objective, you could just fly that up and then get the guy out. You're like,
well, the next turn, yeah, I get your point.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's weird. I mean, like, I didn't love, like, losing objectives in old additions to speeders, but we all knew the idea, like, kill the mobility first. You may have to waste a turn shooting at that speeder you don't want to. That's the thing I don't like, with unlimited split fire, you've set up the cynicism even higher for units.
Yeah.
Because it's already, like, okay, find cheapest unit for shooting efficacy, whatever, and then, like, spam it because there's no force org. But even worse so, it's not even just that, it's, like, the amount of weapons. Well, this thing has like 19 weapons, so like, okay.
Yeah.
You just split my fire 19 ways, like.
And there's no more like. It's funny because on paper at first I actually liked that. I thought that was cool. But the thing is, again, we mentioned it should have been at most 2 splits. Like you can have 2 different targets, so it's like you know, one.
You could do 90-10 or 50-50.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. But that said, you have these subtle little mind games that we used to play where you'd be like, well, you know, I can have 2 units of 3 stealth suits or 1 unit of 6, and then he's gonna. The benefit of having 2 is that he has to shoot, you know, 1, and then he has to charge that one. And now it's just sort of like cake. No, I'm gonna have all the cake and eat it too. Like just.
I don't get how they have the like units. It could be one model have like the preternatural senses to see in 90 directions and like shoot like there, and there. But a single model getting in your way for combat. Oh! Like even it's hilarious. Like it was good that worked in terms of the tactics of the game because that's like the only tactics we saw was Jay charging to prevent my dreadnought from shooting for a turn. But ultimately, I mean, it was better than nothing. Stopping you to shoot for a turn. It's just like
and do
what does it represent?
I didn't, so.
Yeah, I just don't know what it represents because it's the same thing with like the Rhino.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm gonna drive up and like in the old games it made sense. It's like I'm gonna physically contextually block what you can see. So, I'm not stopping you from shooting, I'm just making sure you don't see this road with all these guys behind it, like, as my troops move up. Now nothing matters. There's no obscurement. If you see 5 millimeters of a helmet, they're all in range. Anyway, I'm sure we sound like we're rambling fools. I know a lot of people like this. My point to anyone in fandom, in any fandom, is there are people who like everything. They won't be critical of anything. It's just groupthink. This guy's being negative, let's yell at him. It's Ball's comment section.
Yeah.
People who like these models and who like this world will always like it, but here's the joke. When 5th came out, it was the best. When 6th came out, it was the best. When 7th came out, it was the best. They will say every edition is the best.
And then retroactively say that the previous edition is not the best.
Yeah, it was the worst.
Which is my favorite part, because they previously liked it, so...
Well, that's my thing too. Everyone shits on 7th, like, oh, that unbearable thing of 7th, but no one's really talking about the core rules, which are actually kind of good. It's the factions and the fact that like you can do formations or limitless, whatever.
Yeah, it was fun when
we just have Unbound Light and 8th anyway, so what has changed? Like we fucked over Xenos. That's basically it. But then some of them are still super friends anyway.
Oh yeah,
like,
that's the best.
All the Eldar are one faction or something or nothing, I don't know.
Because, you know, whatever.
Yeah. So also the fucking keyword Imperium thing has to go. I love Imperial shit. I shouldn't have one giant army that's the Imperium.
That's pretty rough.
It's fucking dumb. I mean, it's just dumb.
Yeah.
Trying to make I love to seeing tournaments reporting shit and they're doing it in those disingenuous ways. Like this faction, and then when you actually look what's in the list, it's a bunch of stuff. This faction in the list, it's a bunch of stuff. Like, right, this is the Knights because it has like a knight. You're calling this the Knight faction, even though like the rest of the shit's Imperium. Like, great. You know, yeah. Okay. I don't know what else to say. I'm happy we're not playing 8th anymore.
Yeah. I have more patience than Ben. I like to think sometimes when it comes to this. At least.
I think you do. I really think you do.
And I'm done. Like I gave it. I played 4 games.
Even when you win, it doesn't feel.
Ran out of battery.
Ran out of battery. Ran out of space.
Okay, so what I was just saying is.
So about fusion blasters.
Yeah, so I like the fusion blasters because they have that rule where if you're
half range,
you roll 2d6 to the highest, so it controls it a little better.
Yeah.
And they also have a longer range, so it's 9-inch. So that was one of the reasons why I was kicking so much ass back here with those Razorbacks and stuff. Yeah. But I don't really care because I'm going to play 7th.
Yeah. I mean, there's still all the rules out there.
That's just my choice.
Sorry if you hate me for that. We were joking about this. Well, one of us was pooping. That interesting book that came out at the end of 7th for Chaos.
Oh, yes!
That had about like 9 days of shelf life before 8th came out.
That's right.
So we'll be able to rediscover that book while playing 7th.
Yeah, well...
and I could even play 7th at Deathwatch in theory. gets
that
used.
was a
So
thing,
we could
wasn't it?
also see that book that
Yeah.
had like a month of shelf life.
And I might actually get that Storm Surge painted up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shoot twice, yeah.
Yeah, back in the old shoot twice days.
Shoot twice days. At least the targeting isn't as insane. Maybe.
We'll figure it out.
Yeah, so I don't know. 8th, we gave it a go, but the terrain feels pointless. A lot of people have said that, like it doesn't really.
That's
feel
my
matter
biggest.
outside of the
That's
boards,
my
and
biggest gripe. The terrain
that's
does
a
not matter. That
arrow to the
pains
heart.
me. We honestly basically. I don't want to say met, but we bonded over Warhammer initially over the terrain. I think we both really enjoyed
we both saw the same
the terrain, and
we liked 5th where there was rules, and we were the only ones who read the rules for.
yeah. It's, hashtag elitism, but yeah, I don't know. We care about the board, and the problem with right now is that did it just peep? No, we good. Okay, we good. All right. So I think the problem right now is that it's just there's.
I'm paranoid. I want to check it.
Yeah, let's go check it.
Keep talking.
But there's just nowhere to hide, really. There's nothing to do. There's nothing to really. We're good? Okay. There's nothing to.
That's a good topic. Nowhere to hide.
Nowhere to hide. And like, even if you're around a corner, there's no benefit. There's no benefit to being anywhere.
No. And then it's super abstract for barricades because like
there's no benefit.
Apparently, being behind a 10-foot wall that's made of concrete where only one of my guys is visible to the enemy, may as well be in the open. But being behind a 2-foot wall made of kelp, I don't fucking know.
Yeah.
I'm fine because within an inch it's a barricade.
Yeah,
Great.
and my favorite part too is like we talked
Great.
about this. It's gonna probably be hard to show on camera, but like so this is a model. It's right here. Here's another model. It's right here. It's behind the barricade, but the barricade is still between the two models, which means he gets the full benefit of cover.
Yeah.
Why even go around? Just sit there and shoot. Positioning means nothing now.
Means absolutely nothing. I don't know.
And then on the point of not being.
What I also keep seeing that I can't stand, I really feel like a lot of our community should just be playing video games because
yeah.
No, they're never going to finish building their
laugh
models.
because I agree.
They're never going to paint, and then to hear these pieces of shit who have put 1/10 of the thousands of hours they put in this fucking game go, I'm so happy this game where I move physically 200 models is taking less time. Like,
and it's not.
why are you playing? It's not, first of all, but why are you even playing this? Like, great that game that's very involved no matter what is now less involved. Like,
Yeah.
to what benefit?
Yeah.
We're not saving time, we're losing a fuck ton of detail, and both of us don't even know what happened this game. We're just like, someone won!
He basically flew some planes at me,
Flew some planes around.
and then I shot everything at one of the planes, and then the other planes flew back over here,
Yep.
and then I shot everything over here at those planes, and they died, and then I shot more people, and they died, and then those guys came back over here. That's kind of what happened.
Yeah. And really, the entire game, there are two kinds of models.
Yeah,
One's that fly and ones that don't.
and I agree.
That's it.
That's the big thing.
So with
Tower's so
tanks,
meta for that.
why would I take a tank that has like 10 wounds when I can take a flyer that has 14 and doesn't care about physics?
Yeah, can we talk about how, what the heck with planes that have the same number of wounds as the, like...
2 of my planes had 14 wounds.
Do you want a tank? Or do you want a flying tank? Like, what the fuck?
Yeah, you're right, there's no difference.
Like,
And often they have extra special rules for shooting at fly, so it's like...
why would you take a Land Raider over a Storm Raider?
Back in 7th, it'd be like a flyer. Now it's just, oh, it can fly, so you get bonuses. We move all these integers pointlessly in the shooting phase, but then we're always rolling 3 to 5 anyway in the fucking war
Yes,
phase. It's just-
yes, that's another good one.
Nothing matters. It's just, I'll use my heavy weapons, and then I'll finish things off with my, like, millions of little shots that can accumulate.
Should I fire
Strategy.
should I fire my pulse shots at Marines or unarmored Guardsmen? Well, the Guardsmen have worse saves, but I'm still hitting them in the same regard. They're both wounding on 3s.
Yeah.
Oh, what? Okay.
It's just,
Oh, is it
this
anything
beautiful board with all this terrain.
Yeah.
No fucking rules. Units don't even give cover saves or obscurement, but they do give obscurement in the sense of if it's total.
Yeah.
Okay, that's another thing. It's like, I'll charge around the corner of my Land Raider. Like, okay.
Yep.
What is this representing? I ambushed you. Like, it's hard to say that when you drove a Land Raider up. What, was,
Yeah.
was it invisible? Like, I get what they're trying to do, but it's just like an extra layer of stupid. Especially now that you can move, like you teleport through ruins with melting through wall with infantry. Like,
Yep.
okay, I can just melt through a wall and charge you. Explain me the tactics of that one, people. I don't know what.
Do Space Marines.
The tank stuff too. The no tank shock. Like, We were talking about this earlier. I want to take that unique, amazing, beautiful scene from Austin Powers, the original. Where, that guy from, I think it's Michael McDonald, the guy from not Mad TV, guy from Mad TV. Austin Powers.
That was Michael McDonald?
I think so. But Austin Powers.
Look it up.
He's on.
Let us know in the comments.
He's on a steamroller, and there's a guy 200 meters away from him, just in awe of terror, just and it's just this drawn out.
Move out of the way!
Yeah, he's telling him to get out of the way. He's frozen in terror. I want to take that scene and then make it 8th edition. So when he finally gets the guy, instead of just effortlessly rolling over him as if it was 7th, the vehicle explodes. It stops completely by touching his hand. Because he's a grot.
Yeah, or it bounces, there's an invisible force field and you just can't seem to get through him.
Yeah. And the thing is, they tried contextuality with combat. They did the whole, if you surround them, they can't get out.
Yeah.
Then they gave half the units fly in the game. So that doesn't create, an all or nothing fuck you.
I play a faction of people who don't want to be in close combat. Yeah, we're, one of the best people at leaving it. I mean, I guess that makes sense because we'd be good at mitigating our things that we're bad at. But still, from a gameplay point of view, it's very strong.
Yep.
So.
Well, it's also silly, too, that, it's fair that all units of all stripes can leave combat, sure. But it doesn't make sense for anything. Hold on, ravenous horde of Tyranids. I don't want to fight you anymore. You better listen to them. There's no psychology to it.
That's why I think
Berserkers are totally going to leave combat.
That's why, exactly. I think that there should be, you should be allowed to leave combat, but the other side gets to attack you for free. And they either, all their attacks hit, you just turn your back on them and are moving away, and they just kill you. So it's like a gamble. You're I guess I could
They could do,
but it'll kill me.
Battle Shot.
You know?
They could do, D3 or D6.
Make it a gamble.
More wounds. They could do anything.
I could escape from combat, but I'll probably lose my unit. Yeah. But it'll be for the greater good. Hey, I just fucking wrote the narrative there. But instead, it's just move back, move back, move back, move back.
Well, you know what people are going to do ahead of time because when something is so obvious, do you want a steak or cancer? Not many people do cancer to make a point.
Steak can give you cancer now.
Yeah, but it's just, it's like I was saying with leaving combat's very similar to choosing 2 charge. It's well, I've shot this unit down from, 10 miles to 3. I could charge and pretty much guarantee to kill it, because even if I don't kill it all, Battle Shock might do the rest. There's very little risk to me.
Unless you just want to stay in combat, because that's what you want to do. But I don't know why you want to take a unit like that.
I don't. Unless you really want to prevent that unit shoot, but it's got fly anyway. Nothing was stupider in this game than the fucking flyers charging.
Yeah, that was.
I really wish there was a bastion I could go and have my Valkyrie have sex with, but. Actually, that was the last point I wanted to make. I feel like the Bastion is the perfect metaphor for the 8th edition. Because when you take that new player and you put down this cool looking Bastion with a heavy bolter on each side, and you say, it shoots 12 shots from any side. It's just, what?
They all fire in one direction. That's a very, very good example. I mean, it's a square box.
It's a square box.
This box, okay? There's a gun on each side.
If they had just introduced split fire and kept arcs, it'd take care of itself. It'd be fine. It would be an improvement, I would say.
They would still be able to shoot all in one arc, but yeah.
No, I'm saying if they kept arcs. If they brought in split fire but kept arcs.
Yeah,
so you have this very contextual even the planes. Even if I could split fire, I'd be moving a lot less cynically.
Yeah.
I would maybe have to pace myself to get the shots off.
Maybe that's one of the abilities of the Lehman Rust that has always been shit.
Yeah.
That it can fire its things.
Those poor boys.
I don't know. When was the last time the Lehman Rust has been good? 5th?
I guess. Yeah, 5th, 6th, no, even 7th because they were cheap in 7th. You get the 130-point autocannon one and stuff like that. The no cover one.
When was the last time we saw a battle cannon though?
Not as often. Not as often.
I remember being terrified of those things.
But a lot of that was just because there was cheaper options. That's a lot of it. You saw Demolishers, though. You still saw Demolishers, because they still could fuck shit up. They didn't do a million wounds, but they could fuck shit up. I don't know. Missing out templates, too. When you see these really cynical deep strikes, it's
or just... I don't know, I miss area of effect in general. Not that as a Templar I had much of it, but it was just again, I can be together and get more shots on target, or I can sort of split up and... again, as we work with Splitfire, I guess some of those guys can only see down in this alley, and they can only see, but no, now it's No, just cluster up.
There was a
There's
beautiful
no point not to.
proportionality, like thinking even las gunners. If I've got a 30-man unit at 7th, I can choose to show all 30 or half, like 15, or like a third of them, like 10. And however much I expose, let's say on the top of a ruin or something, is however much I can take back. So it kind of has that work thing. It's like, well, I'm exposing myself to taking 10 wounds, but I can put out 10 wounds. Now it's so all or nothing because, again, it's
You
it's
either
or
hide
nothing.
them all
It's
or you
yeah,
get them all up there.
Yeah, exactly. So, like, that's a benefit in terms of decision making, but it's one more of those things your hand is forced without any nuance.
Exactly. Exactly. It's
So-
a great example of everything is a nail.
Yeah, I also don't like AP just straight up always interacting with terrain. I
Yeah.
still think there should be a USR, shockingly, that allows you to apply the AP to terrain. Because then you would still have good terrain. Like if you just started terrain at 5, like you were suggesting last video, or like a mixture of 5, 4, 3, whatever you want to do.
Yeah.
At least that way, like the lighter infantry can still benefit from cover and stuff, and the heavier infantry will still also be able to benefit as well. Like aren't super incentivized more than anyone else. And then you actually still have a situation where you want certain weapons to do the no cover stuff.
Yeah.
It still kind of exists, but doesn't really
Yeah.
matter sometimes. Like
Yeah.
your smart missiles have it, but like you shoot without LOS anyways, so like you're doing mass fire anyway. I don't know. Yeah, I just there's no fixing 8th, and it's a lot easier to fix 7th. It really is.
Yeah, I'm inclined to agree
little.
there. So I'm much more inclined to agree.
Yeah. So
Go back and do that,
if you
so.
subscribe to our channel because you found us in 8th, I do apologize. I also
Yes.
feel like we were cynically doing it just to bring in some fresh blood because a lot of people will be looking for 8th when it came out.
Hey, but you know what? We also
Marketing.
legitimately wanted to try it
Yes, yeah.
because that way we can formulate a much stronger opinion.
Yeah.
And because that's always my policy. Someone says, "Hey, you don't like this? Well, did you try it?" I was like, "Yeah, I did, and I didn't like it."
That's why I've eaten shit, so now people can be like, well, have you eaten shit? Like,
Okay,
yeah, I
that's
don't like it.
That's a great example
Yeah, yeah,
of
that's good.
how that is not always the case. Well, how do you know you don't like shit? Well,
How do you know like you haven't get how do you know you only get stabbed? Have you been stabbed? You wanna try? Like
hey, this is pretty great actually. Yeah.
doing it people? It's just
I belong in here. All right.
I don't know what else to say.
Like,
man.
comment, subscribe.
Yeah.
Leave us a comment.
Oh, you did remind me. Collectively, we started
Yeah.
a separate channel called LCBR. I think it's got 1 subscriber.
Oh, very nice.
There's no videos up yet. There will be videos. The thought with that was this: we can all come together in the modeling. We can all go.
I think
That's a
that's
cool
a great
model.
idea.
That's a nice paint job. So it's gonna focus more on like the photography and the models, and less about us bitching. There will still be bitching, but less. And you'll learn stuff. You'll learn how to do photography.
There'll be a link to that channel right here.
somewhere in the things or somewhere.
Or maybe it's down there.
Yeah. If not, then the next time. But there will be videos up soon.
You'll find
I'm
it.
just thinking of a way of doing videos that aren't terribly long, but still somewhat interesting.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
Yeah.
Keep
So
tuning
hopefully
in.
we'll see you there.
30K is coming back and 40K, some of this is coming back. Oh, also, fuck Jervis Johnson, you
Yeah.
limey fuck.
Seriously, Jervis, what is your
I
problem?
think it's time to pass it over to Critis because this whole edition felt like Critis maybe trying to help and you just ruining it every time. The whole edition feels just like it was made by this horrible consensus that was at gunpoint. It was just like the marketing team made a raid and just like held someone's knife. And
Yeah. Yeah.
Anyway.
That's it for us. That's it for 8th edition.
That's a great thing.
See you later.
Actually, we owe them one more 8th edition. 8th edition!
8th edition!
Kill me now! Alright.
Stay sexy, friends.
Oh, yeah. Oh, fuck. We never have to play 8th again.
Yeah.
Ever again.
Alright, that's it.
Never again. Let's go smoke some weed.
Gods of war, may your hammer be mighty.